Well, hello everybody, and I'm finally here after all this time with the university series that I promised. So today we're going to be covering what it's like studying during the COVID-19 pandemic. And I would like to disclose before I start this series of videos that I'm going to be doing, that this is all my opinion, what I feel about the whole thing and all these different things that I'm going to be talking about. I haven't done any kind of background research on this particular video today, but it's just how I'm feeling about it all. I'm sure we have a lot of new people watching this, as I've never really done a video like this before. So to all of those people watching, my name's Tom. I do lifestyle kind of videos at the moment, vlogs and stuff, a variety of things really. That's what I've done from day one. It has shifted a bit in recent months, but it does remain, I do quite a lot of different things. So over the next few months I'm going to be doing 2 lots of university series. I'm going to come back at the end of August and do some kind of moving away, moving in, what it's like during freshers kind of videos, but at the moment I'm doing university tips if I can. So I hope that you new people watching will subscribe, because I've been a student now for 4 years. I've been in 2 different universities, in 2 different cities. I'm currently doing my Masters in Human Resources Management at Cardiff University, and previously I did do HR at UE Bristol. I have already filmed all of these videos, but this is my kind of round 2 on it all, because I filmed it outside. You couldn't really hear it very well. I needed to do a second go at it, you know. I think practice makes perfect sometimes. So I've had my rehearsal already, so hopefully it should be a bit better. But I've got to check my notes still, because I've got my notes here to help me talk about what it's like studying during COVID-19. So when I signed up for my course, they said it was going to be a blended learning experience. And they said that we would be on campus, but for seminars, but lectures would be conducted over Zoom. And it's actually turned out that it's been mainly on Zoom. Yeah, if you're going to be starting a degree during COVID-19, and I really hope that by the time all of you start in September, that things will be fine and there'll be no restrictions and everything can carry on as normal. Then these kind of tips will be irrelevant. We know this can change very easily, and they're worried about the flu strains during winter and the rest of it, so there quite possibly could be restrictions in place for universities in September. So that's why I'm doing this, basically. So there was a lot less, time on campus. I think at most it was 1 hour a week, and that wasn't even constant. And that was for only 1 module. Everything else was on Zoom. It will be your new best friend, and it's very likely that you're going to meet your lecturers or your co-students all on Zoom as well. And you don't really know anyone. It can be a bit awkward and it can be a bit difficult to build any kind of, make any friends or get friendly with the lecturers. It can be difficult during this time. So that is one thing to be sure of. It's not quite as good in that with the social aspect. And all of the lectures are pre-recorded. So I know that lectures aren't really supposed to be a full-on kind of conversation, but there's literally no engagement whatsoever. You sit there, watch a lecture, and you do have, it's not really in your own leisure either, because you do have to watch it and prepare for things, and you have to treat it the same as going into one. But there is no live interaction for all the lectures at all, so you can't just stop and see a lecture on the way out. It is a bit of a shame really, that. So the in-house contact is limited, as I've said, and most communication to your lecturers will be by email. I've actually only had one one-to-one meeting on Zoom with one of my lecturers, but all of the rest have just been over email. So if you do like a lot of support, which I do, and kind of just speak to people, it is quite difficult at the moment to do that. So with Cardiff, the library is a click and collect service, so you can't actually go in and pick a book or look around. If you want to do work in the library, you have to book a space. and then you will work through that slot, but it'll be distancing and wearing a mask, obviously. And if you want to order a book, you order it and pick it up at one of the collection points, and you post it through the letterbox then to send the book back. There's no kind of nice, oh, let's go and look around the library kind of thing. That just doesn't exist at the moment. And which is one good thing about that is I live right by Heath Hospital in Cardiff, and there's a library in there, so I can pick up my business management HR books from the science library or the medicine library, whatever it is. So it has got its perks in that respect. It has made it a bit easier, but you just can't go and have a look around, which is also a bit annoying. The unions are limited at the moment as well, so if you do want to get involved in societies or clubs and stuff, that will most likely be over Zoom. The students' union is all kind of taped off and masks, and I think it's only the restaurant and bar that's open. You know, the club isn't open still. So if you're looking for a good union, Cardiff does have a very good student union, apparently. The second best in the UK, I've heard. But unfortunately, I've had very little to do with it. You know, you can't really do much in there. I haven't really taken advantage of it because it's just, you can't really, because there's nothing, literally nothing to do. So overall, I will be honest, I do feel the support hasn't been the best with my master's studying during COVID. I felt there's a big disconnect between the lecturers and the students, and kind of just correspondence between the union yourself is just very limited compared to normal times. They say that they've providing you with the same level of education, and okay, perhaps they are, and they're trying their best on the whole, but it's just still not good enough. And for the amount you're paying, you know, it's just, in my opinion, you really do have to think about it if you are going to uni at the moment. It shouldn't be a decision made on a whim. You know, you really need to give it a lot of thought because it's an extremely different experience. You know, the social aspect of it is very important to you. If having really good support is very important to you, if having a full experience is the reason you want to go to uni to do your undergrad, especially, you know, it is risky at the moment. You know, you got to sum it up. If your plan is just to go and get your degree, and you're very confident in that, and that you'll be able to manage your own time well, if you're able to kind of do a lot of self-work, if that makes sense, then yeah, go for it. You know, you will get the qualification at the end as long as you pass, and it hopefully should be recognised the same as doing a degree any other time of year. But but for me, I do enjoy going in. I do enjoy having meetings with the lecturers, talking to the lecturers. I do enjoy the discussion. And yeah, it's just hasn't happened this year. And I thought there would be more on-campus stuff. I thought that there would be more seminars, but there just hasn't been, unfortunately. So I guess that's my conclusion to this episode. You know, you do have to weigh up the pros and cons. You do have to think about it. I think this is all my experience. You might prefer working from home and having to do everything. You know, you don't have to travel, for instance, and you can kind of, I guess, do more things in the house in between, and all those kinds of things that come good with working from home, I guess. And using Teams and Zoom is extremely good experience at the moment for when you go into the workplace, because most jobs are online at the moment. Most interviews will be online at the moment. So from that aspect, I can go into any workplace now and say that, look, I have done all this when I did my degree. But I do prefer the contact. I do prefer the kind of support element to it. And yeah, so I hope that I've helped anyone. Maybe I haven't. If you are currently a student and studying during COVID, please leave me a comment and tell me what your experience is, if you enjoy it or not. Or if you are planning on doing a degree. I know I have one friend that's planning on doing a master's degree. So this kind of pushed me to do these videos as well. So if you do have any questions for me, please leave them in the comments. If you're new, please subscribe. and I will see you on the next video. The next video will not be a university related video because it'll be one of my vlogs which will be on later in the week. But my next uni video will be next week, so please subscribe and stick around and then you'll see it posted. But other than that, I hope you all have a good week. It's going to be a nice heat wave here in Cardiff and I think the rest of the UK. So yeah, I hope everyone enjoys the sun. Okay, thanks everyone. Goodbye. For some people that might be a bit of a shock, my experience of what it's like, what the difference is. An undergraduate degree and a master's degree, faced with a lot more opinion. Perhaps a master's isn't for you. That's the main difference from the beginning. Differences I found with mine, it goes very, very quickly, the material. The second semester was definitely more challenging. Don't think just because you've got a master's that you're gonna, rule the world, because you're not.